As you get older, your brain can become your greatest ally. Quick-witted, wise and experienced. Or it can become... what was I saying? Oh yeah, slow and forgetful. Fortunately, there are ways to keep our brains from turning against us as we age. Science is uncovering a powerful new tool that can help with this. And with so much more, curcumin. No, it's not a wonder drug from some big pharma company. It's the spice that makes curry yellow, and it also comes in a more convenient and often more effective supplement form. Curcumin could be part of a solid plan to improve your memory, increase your mental stamina, and stabilise your moods. Studies have found this compound helps with everything from inflammation to cancer to ageing skin. More research needs to be done, but so far, it's looking like we could have a miracle drug on our hands. And one of the most exciting areas researchers are looking at is what curcumin could mean for our mental health. For everything from depression to memory loss and even Alzheimer's. But be careful, there are some people who should absolutely not take curcumin. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video to find out if you're among them. But first, let's take a closer look at what curcumin is. Ever had an Indian curry? You know that yellow golden colour it has? That colour comes from a spice called turmeric. It's also seen in some Caribbean and Middle Eastern foods as well. And if you're familiar with those cultures, you've likely come across this yellow powder. Turmeric has been used for centuries, not just in traditional Indian food, but also in traditional Indian medicine, for everything from reducing inflammation to treating skin problems and sore throats. And now, in recent years, modern medicine has started to notice. Over the past few decades, numerous studies have been carried out in India and around the world, many of them showing real benefits from the key ingredient in turmeric. That key ingredient is called curcumin. The research into it all is still ongoing, and there's much that needs to be confirmed. But let's check out what we know so far. Curcumin is known as a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. Let's break down these terms. Antioxidant. An antioxidant is something that fights free radicals. No, not guerrilla fighters in the jungle, but unstable molecules created naturally by your metabolism. Free radicals damage your cells, causing cancer and leading to other conditions like stroke, heart disease, and other age-related diseases. So in essence, curcumin is an age fighter. There's still much to be learned about how well curcumin can prevent these diseases, but the research so far is promising. Anti-inflammatory. An anti-inflammatory is just what it sounds like, something that reduces inflammation. Turmeric's ability to reduce swelling has been known in Indian culture for centuries, but recent scientific research has backed that up, showing that it reduces the levels of compounds linked to inflammation. But that doesn't mean it can reduce swelling in the same way as a drug like aspirin. The evidence on that is still pretty thin. The evidence is much stronger when it comes to curcumin's effect on your mood. A depression fighter. One thing that's been solidly proven about curcumin is that it has anti-inflammatory properties. It's been used for centuries in Ayurvedic medicine, the traditional medicine of India, to treat conditions related to swelling. Things like sore throats, skin wounds, scleroderma, and even skin cancer. But today we know a lot more about the role of inflammation in the human body. It isn't just about swollen throats or itchy skin. Recent studies have found a link between chronic inflammation in the body and mood disorders, specifically a link to depression. For now, we don't know which way that link goes. Does inflammation cause depression? Or does depression cause inflammation? Either way, there's good reason to believe curcumin can help. In 2016, researchers at Murdoch University in Australia found that curcumin supplements significantly helped people suffering from major depressive disorder. They carried out a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, meaning some people were given curcumin supplements, while others got a fake drug, a sugar pill. Even the researchers giving out the pills didn't know who got the real thing and who got the placebo. It's considered the gold standard for medical studies, and the Australian researchers found those who got the real curcumin supplements saw a major improvement in their depression. Those who got the sugar pill didn't. Earlier in 2013, researchers at the Government Medical College in Bhangalore, India, decided to pit curcumin against Prozac in a one-on-one showdown. Prozac is one of the most common brand name antidepressants. In their randomized, controlled trial, the Indian scientists found that curcumin had an almost identical impact to Prozac, helping about 2/3 of the test subjects. A memory booster. But that's not all that curcumin can do for your brain. More and more studies are coming out showing that it can boost your memory. In 2014, researchers at Swinburne University of Technology in Melbourne, Australia, gave curcumin supplements to 60 healthy adults over the age of 60 and then measured their cognitive abilities. 1 hour after treatment, those who had taken the supplement showed significant improvement in tasks involving memory and concentration. Those who took the placebo did not. They also found improved memory from regular use for 4 weeks. Another study, this one out of UCLA in California, looked at people over 50 and found that those who took curcumin supplements for 18 months improved their scores on memory tests by 28%. All this suggests curcumin could be an effective memory booster in the long run and in the short run, something you might want to consider when it's exam time or retirement time. So maybe you could swap out that morning coffee buzz for something a little more useful. But how is it that curcumin can improve your brain? Researchers believe that it increases the level of BDNF protein in your body. BDNF stands for brain-derived neurotropic factor. Simply put, it's a gene that helps the neurons in your brain multiply and form new connections. For this reason, many researchers think it's possible that curcumin could help with all sorts of cognitive problems, including the worst kind of memory failure, Alzheimer's. Researchers have found that Alzheimer's patients have low BDNF levels, but for now, there's not much evidence that treating Alzheimer's patients with curcumin does much good. If anything, it's likely to work better to prevent Alzheimer's in the first place. A brain recharger. We've all been there. Those days where you just can't think straight. Maybe you're not sleeping or stressed out, but whatever the reason, your brain won't put 2 and 2 together. That's in part because it uses enormous amounts of energy. The brain is just 2% of the total mass of your body, but it consumes 20% of the energy your body uses. Now, research is showing that curcumin can help there too, at least in the short run. It seems to work as a sort of brain recharger when you're out of mental energy. In another study from Swinburne University, researchers found that people who took curcumin supplements had more mental energy when they were tested 4 weeks later and 12 weeks later. The study also found people had less tension, anger, and confusion after 4 weeks, but not after 12. It seems some of the positive effects of curcumin can wear off over time. Is curcumin right for me? If by this point you're thinking you might want to get your hands on some curcumin, there are some things you should know. First of all, it probably won't do much good to add it to your diet. Hitting up the local Indian restaurant once a week probably won't do the trick. Turmeric, the spice, is only about 2% to 9% curcumin, and that's not enough. This is why many nutritionists suggest taking a supplement. A single pill gives you as much curcumin as eating a small bowl of turmeric, which is probably not the greatest habit to get into. Another thing to know is that your body doesn't actually absorb curcumin very well. It does much better when you eat it with fatty foods, which is why many nutritionists recommend doing just that. Those studies we mentioned earlier, in almost all cases, the supplements they used were a solid lipid curcumin formulation. In other words, the pills were coated in a fatty acid to make it easier for the body to absorb. You should talk to a healthcare professional before you start on curcumin supplements. But if and when the time comes, make sure you get the solid lipid formulation, or you might just be wasting your money. Finally, there are some people who absolutely should not take curcumin supplements, namely people who are on blood thinning or anti-clotting medication. That's because curcumin itself is a blood thinner and could interfere with the prescription drug, causing bleeding. According to WebMD, you should stay away from curcumin if you're on aspirin, Advil, Aleve or other similar painkillers. If you're taking statins for cholesterol or taking medications for diabetes or high blood pressure, You might be at risk from curcumin supplements as well. As always, talk to your doctor before starting out on any new supplements. In the meantime, why not enjoy a big, steamy helping of tikka masala? Who knows? It might just get you started on the road to a healthier you.